All right, guys, I'm going to get started. I'm impatient. I don't want to wait another 5 minutes. I have no idea how long this webinar is going to take. Yes, it's being recorded. Yes, I'll be sending out a replay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be sending out the link so much you guys are going to get tired of seeing it. There's a lot of important information in here, so make sure you follow along. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them. I'm going to be stopping several times during this webinar, and I'm going to put up a slide that says questions and answers. So make sure you ask your questions then so I can get them done and make sure that everybody understands what we're doing here, okay? This software is about to change dramatically, and I mean that in a huge way. So let's go ahead and get started. What I want you to do is imagine if Profit Renegade could integrate with all of your software tools that you guys already use. Now, hang on a sec, I don't have this set up right. All right, that's okay. We're good to go now. Now imagine if Profit Renegade would integrate seamlessly with your mobile devices, your databases, your predictive dialers, your direct mail, your smart TV, pretty much everything you use daily. Now, imagine grabbing the reviews and merging them with anything that you already have inside your grid in Profit Renegade. Reputation management, people could automatically search and color code prospects' reviews based off customized keyword lists. Imagine a Profit Renegade so powerful that you can analyze all the data across all the platforms and act on it in real time. This and much, much more is possible when we combine Profit Renegade with the power of APIs. And that is what this webinar is all about. So I've got some technical geek speak we got to go over. It's only a couple slides of that. And then we're going to do some normal regular speak. And I'm going to walk you with screenshots how to insert or how to actually use this stuff with the software. It's going to sound complicated, but I promise you it's super easy. Now, today's tutorial is going to cover what APIs actually are and how to use them with Profit Renegade. We're going to request some API keys and we're going to add them to the software. And I'm going to showcase one of the APIs that we use, and I'm going to explain what the results are. And that particular API looks up phone numbers and tells you a whole bunch of information that every single one of you that I see in this webinar has asked me about. Well, I mean, the ones I see in the webinar that I actually recognize your names. Now, I'm also going to be announcing a price increase, and we're going to review who it affects. It does not affect everybody. And we're going to give a free gift to select all-in plugin owners. I see quite a few all-in plugin owners. I'm really glad you guys showed up. I really want to say thank you, and hopefully I'm going to do it in a good way. And we're going to announce a members-only contest. And all that I was planning to wrap up inside of an hour, but I doubt it. Depends on how many questions you got. So we've had 3-hour webinars before. Let's try not to do that tonight. All right, guys, give me one. We're going to ask all the questions during the question and answer period. All right, perfect. Awesome. You guys are great. All right, I'm moving on. So what we're going to do is understand API basics. And that means, what does an API mean? What does an open API mean? What's a private API? How do APIs work? What is an API key? What are API keys used for? And we're just going to cover very lightly on different types of APIs. What does API mean? It's an application program interface. The rest of that gobbledygook you really don't need to know. I'm going to leave it up for you programmers. An open API means it's publicly available. It's done on purpose. It's not like an open relay or an open SMTP. It's a completely different meaning to the word open. This is open on purpose. Private API means the exact opposite of open. It means it's closed off on purpose. In a nutshell, an API works as an intermediary between two applications. It's the messenger that delivers your request back and forth. It's like the waiter in the waiter. I forgot what I'm trying to say. It's like the waiter taking your order. They take your order. They take it to the cook. The cook brings it, gets the order prepared for you, sends the information, and she brings the food back to you. And that's pretty much all an API is doing. You guys understand that? Give me a 1 if you do. Give me a 0 if you don't. Excellent. Sorry, I stumbled a little bit on that, but what can I say? An API key is a code passed from the computer programs Just think of that like a license plate. It identifies you, the make of your car, your legal status to the driver, and basically APIs do the same thing. Y'all get that, right, guys? Simple, easy to understand. Yep. All right. The API key tells whoever issued you the key that you have permission to access the data and what your privileges and limitations are. Again, just like the license plate. So we're going to move on. The different types of APIs, or I'm sorry, there are different types of APIs for operating systems, applications, and websites. Most operating environments, such as MS Windows, provide APIs that allow programmers to write applications to keep within the operating environment. A lot of APIs that you guys hear about today are specified by websites. Third-party software developers like myself, we can use web APIs and we can put them into software and create custom solutions for end users. All right, that's pretty much all of the gobbledygook. The recap is real simple. APIs are code that allows one computer to talk to another. API keys identify you and what you're allowed to do. And Profit Renegade can integrate with all API types. That's huge, guys. It can integrate with all API types. Give me a 1 if you understand that. Give me a 0 if you don't. Excellent. Well, Rudy Baptiste said that was easy to understand. Well, right now, I thought it was too, but just in case, now it's question and answer period. Does anybody have any questions about what I just said? If anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them in right now. If not, just give me zeros because we're going to move on pretty quick if I don't see anything. Excellent. All right, I'm going to give 10 more seconds just to make sure. All right, guys, we're going to move on to lesson 2. We're going to understand how web APIs are used in Profit Renegade. And today's lesson is not going to include hooking into an environment operating system. That's your computer. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do today is a similar introduction. It is not really designed for any API developers. And learning what the abbreviation for API means is the hardest thing that you're going to learn today. So you guys can wipe the sweat off your brows if you want. We made API integration extremely easy. And if you can read, you can API. There's really just 3 steps for API integration with Profit Renegade. You have to request a key from somebody. You have to get approved by that somebody for the key. And then you take that key and you copy and paste it into Profit Renegade. And just like that, you've added a new option to the software. You guys understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. Excellent, excellent. All right. So we're going to request 2 API keys today. The first one is the United States Yellow Pages API. It's 100% open. Yep, that means free. It allows you to have 50,000 queries per day. I'm going to say that a second time, even though it's in black and white. 50,000 queries per day limit. You can use a phone number to find reviews anywhere in the USA within their database, and extracts other data that other people can't get by going to the website and scraping. Now, that 50,000 queries per day, I see probably 20, 30 of you guys that are big-time scrapers. The rest of you people that are only, I don't know, sending out like a couple thousand emails a week or a couple direct mails a week, you guys aren't going to need anything more than that. That means you don't need proxies anymore. That means you don't have to go through all the craziness that you've had to go through in the past because you have a bad IP or your ISP is causing you issues. You just ask for a key, you stick it in, and you get what you need every day. It's just that simple. Everybody understand that? Give me a 1. If you don't, give me a 0. All right, let's move on. So where do I get my API key? What do I need to know when you request a key? Yes, there's stuff you need to know. Where do I add my key to Profit Renegade? And then extended API search parameters are going to be explained. So this is where you go get your key. This website is going to be, I'm sorry, this URL is going to be listed on the very last slide here, and I'm going to let it just play for a few seconds or record for a few seconds after the webinar, so you guys can easily get it from there. Give me one if you understand. As a matter of fact, all the URLs that you see in this presentation will be at the end of the webinar. You guys all understand? Great. All right, let's move on. When you go to sign up for your free account, be careful what you say. Remember, you're asking them permission for something. That doesn't mean they have to say yes. You guys understand it, correct? BJ Campo, everybody else can hear stuff, so I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to move on. So when you go to the Publisher Center, just click up to the top left over here where it says Site and Apps. Click on it. Come over here to the right. Click the button that says Add a Site App. And then right here where it's highlighted, I put my TOS, my terms of service. I put the link there and I chose mobile web. You have to name it something. I suggest you name something that sounds appropriate. I don't really know what you guys want to use for your link. That's why I told you I put my TOS there. So it's up to you guys. Now, when you, maybe I'll go back. Let me show you that again. Okay, so you put your paste in there, then you hit the button that says Save and Continue. Then you move over here and you grab your API key. You just copy it from there. Okay, copy it from there, and I think I got myself out of order. All right, sorry, I confused myself for a minute, guys, but this is going to work out just fine the way it is. Just hold on to the key, and I'm going to tell you real quick what we do. If everyone went watching right now and signed up, it's going to look like some guy with a bunch of proxies are signing up with, nefarious intentions, and we take the risk of everybody's key being turned off and possibly, holding off for approving more. So we don't want to do that. So everyone watching this live should really not sign up right away. So when you are filling out the information, when you're asking for the key, never say that you're using the API to harvest, scrape, or store data. You guys understand that, right? You got to be a little bit smart. Okay, great. Any zeros in there? No zeros? Okay. Okay. Now, I know no matter how much we explain that everybody rushing off and signing up for the API keys all at once tonight is a bad thing, a lot of you are going to ignore the advice. So in order to protect everyone's best interest, we're going to put our cloud servers to good use. And this newest update with the API framework will not start distributing itself for 5 days from tonight. And then when it does, it's going to use an algorithm that I wrote to randomly distribute the update based off the cloud servers nearest to you. Oops, this thing's going backwards. No wonder I'm getting confused. Now, there are over 8,000 updates that need to happen, so you need to be patient. When you update your software, if you do not see an API update, that is not a need for tech support. It just means you haven't got your update yet, but you will continue to receive any patch updates. So if Yellow Pages goes down or whatever, they go down, I patch it, I fix it just like normal, you'll still get that. And then the next time when it's your turn in the queue, you'll get the API update. Does everybody understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. Excellent. All right. I do not know why this thing's going backwards, people. So everybody, this is where we're going to put it into the software when you get it. So you go to your Advanced tab. Everybody knows where the Advanced tab is, right? Everybody's familiar with this. There's nobody here that doesn't know what this is or where to go, correct? All right, I didn't think so. All right, so you click on the Advanced tab, and then you will see this little box down here where my mouse is. That's new. When you see that, that means you got the API update. Does everybody understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, 0 if you don't. Excellent. All right, now, since this is a service API that we just got from Yellow Pages, we're going to click on the area that says Service API. Everybody understands that? When you click on that, you're going to get a new area that pops up. You guys have never seen this before. Just make sure the drop down where this arrow is pointing at says Yellow Page United States. That will literally list every other plugin that has an API framework hooked into it at this point. Literally, it should work. Anything you've chosen on the front end of the software, if it comes back to the back end, it should automatically be set up for you. But just in case, you need to make sure with your eyes that that is set on the proper API. So everybody give me a 1 if you understand. If there's a 0, or I mean, if anybody doesn't understand, let me know right now with a 0. Okay, Guy, what I'm saying is right here where this arrow is, the drop-down window that says Yellow Pages United States, since that's where we're putting the API key in right now, we need to make sure that that reflects where we got the API key from. You understand now, Guy? Ah, excellent. All right. Anybody else? Everybody understands now, right? Beautiful. All right, so we're going to move on. That's it, by the way. You paste that sucker in. Profit Renegade is now ready to scrape using the Yellow Pages API. All you got to do now is select API as a scrape method. And you guys all recognize this part of the software, right, guys? Give me a 0 if you do not recognize this. I'm just going to assume you do, or you want to be at this webinar. And it's just that simple. You click here, and then you choose API. And just like that, you're using the API. At this point, you just run it like you normally do. Profit Renegade is going to handle the rest. So let's go over the extended API search parameters. And all-in plugin members. Hey, do me a favor if you're, never mind, that's no need for that. This is where you need to listen up. This is another one of those times your membership is really going to pay off. So look at this very last command here. Yes, no. It enables short URL format for Yellow Pages profiles in the API response. That really basically just means it's a short URL that you get for the mobile device. I put it in there because it's going to be useful for a very small select group of you. Most of you are going to want to keep that on no. Search location. It attempts to find the geo coordinates. Hold on, let me get this out of here. I don't know why it's doing that. It attempts to find the geo coordinates in order to keep results within the radius. What that means is if you choose yes, it's going to keep the results locked to within that radius. If you choose no, then the results are going to be can be, most likely will be included that are outside of the radius. If everybody understands that, give me a 1. If you don't, give me a 0. Excellent. All right. The radius is just that. It's the maximum search radius from the center of the area that you choose. So it's in miles. So if you put 1, it means a radius of 1 mile. If you put 10, it means 10. Everybody understands that, right? Excellent. All right, and we can put a list in here, and we're going to move on. This is what I was talking about, all-in plugin members. Did you see the option that said use list? Only current all-in plugin members have the credentials that's going to access that special feature and unlock the hidden options. You will not see these options if you're not an all-in plugin member. And what that means is you could put in an unlimited list of API keys. That lets you rotate through each key, virtually removing all rate limits. So if you were, say, I don't know, possessing 5 Yellow Pages USA API keys, and they each had a limit of 50,000 per day, and you rotated through each of them at 49,000, do you think you can scrape that much in a single day, or you need more than that? If you do, I guess all you need to do is make more keys. Do you guys understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. No zeros, right? There's the answer to that next question. Yes, you can run API scrapes through proxies. I don't really know how API vendors log IP addresses, or if they even do. If you use a single key, then running through a proxy doesn't make any sense. However, if you're rotating through keys, you might not want all of the API requests coming from the same IP address. Just in case, I added full proxy support for both HTTP and SSL proxies. So if you want to run your keys through your proxies, feel free to do so. By the way, I think that's another Prophet Renegade first. All right, before continuing, questions and answer period. Do you guys have any questions? If so, go ahead, type them in the window right now. All right, we got one question from Guy. Guy, everybody can read Guy's question, right? So I don't really need to read it, or I guess I do for the webinar. All right. Guy's question is, I've read a lot about Facebook and Instagram discontinuing any API access for developers, etc. I'm assuming that means those will be off the table for us. Guy, that depends. First of all, they haven't shut down my Facebook API access, and I'm a Facebook developer. So I don't know if everybody's going to get cut out. I don't know if they're going to vet us. I have no idea. Um, I would assume yes. The answer to your question is yes. If they discontinue it for most people, then you're not going to have access to that. But it's a guess. It's not my platform. Does that answer your question, Guy? Excellent. You're welcome. Hey, man, feel free to ask as many questions as you want. I don't remember you being at any of my other webinars, but I'll keep the webinar going until nobody has any more questions, as long as they're real questions. All right, let's move on. Oh, it's Guy Jerry. Oh, hey, bud. Well, you've been around. You know. All right, let's move on to requesting the second API key. This is a global phone number verification and carrier lookup, and it supports 232 countries. It supports every country that every one of my plugins work for. This API can be used three ways. You get 250 lookups for free per month per key, or you can pay them money. If she only knew, she's now on the webinar herself. All right, so this is their setup. I mean, this is what they're charging. They're charging $0 for 250 API requests, or $9.99 for 5,000 per month, and all the way up to 250,000 requests for 100 bucks. Or if you're part of the all-in plugin membership, you can just make a bunch of free keys and rotate through them. Everybody understands it, right, guys? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. Excellent. I bet you guys are starting to be glad you bought that all-in plugin, eh? Haha. All right, so we're moving on to the next lesson. Where do I get my API key? Where do I add my new API key to Prophet Renegade? And how do I use my new API to look up phone numbers? This is where you get your API key. Again, it's going to be at the last frame of the, or the last slide of the webinar. Just look over to the right for the big green button. Click it. Choose the one at the bottom left that says sign up at the very top of this, where this whole bar is going to say free. Make sure your subscription plan says free plan. Fill out your information. As soon as you log in your dashboard, it's right there. There's your API key. So just grab it. Come over to the advanced settings just like before. This is a phone number API. So when you choose in the drop down, click the one that says phone number verification. Paste your key in there just like before. And now Prophet Renegade is ready to verify and classify phone numbers globally. Guys, seriously, can you get any easier than that? Do you see how simple that was? All APIs are that easy to integrate. They're even easier to use. So you guys recognize these drop-down controls. You see this one says phone number lookup. That's new because you pasted in a key. And all you do is you click on it. When you choose it, you get yourself a whole new column. And look at that data. It tells you what the landline is, what the cell phone is, what the toll-free numbers are. You guys understand the value of that, right? Give me a 1 if you do. Give me a 0 if you don't. Yep. And again, that works in 232 countries. And these are the different data points for you. It's pretty easy. Uh, so paging means pager, if anybody still uses those. Satellite phones, premium rates, that's the phone numbers you're paying for. I mean, they're paying like per minute for or something like that. Toll-free numbers, special services. It'd be nice not to have any police phone numbers in there for some of you phone number generating people. And of course, you can tell whether it's a landline or a cell phone. That's very important because you have to know what the hidden facts of a phone number is. If you don't, well, first of all, you can get fined if you call a cell phone when you're not supposed to be. And everybody on here should know that. Half of you probably don't pay attention to it, and the other half of you guys are probably scrambling trying to figure out how to do it easily every day. Well, this simple little API that we gave you is going to make your life easy, so you can verify that you're not calling anybody you don't want to. You can even get rid of the dead phone numbers. So you phone guys, which I see in here, you guys will never have to waste time by calling a dead phone number. If you see that it's an SM, or if you see it's a mobile phone, you know right then and there, hey, do you want to jump into my SMS list? You can segment your phone numbers. You can pre-verify. You know what extension to put on it. So you know whether it's you know what extension to append on the end of the phone number, so you can email the phone a text message. You guys understand that, right? Give me 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. Yeah, I don't see any zeros. All right. So complete cross-platform, real-time integration is the future. And as you guys are able to see right now, it starts right here, right now. We're rolling out the API framework, one plugin service at a time. I estimate it's going to take about 6 to 8 months to complete to get it through all the different plugins. We started with Yellow Pages because it's the first directory Profit Renegade members usually master. It's the very first one everybody goes to every single time, without fail. So that's why we set it up. And it's the one plugin you should all be able to use and understand without any additional help or tutorials. And since you guys already know the original Yellow Pages plugin, then you have a base to compare the API version against. And if you have any questions about that, now's the time to ask them, but I don't think you guys do. You guys have any questions? Give me a question right now if you have one. Did you check votes for BuzzFile to be the second API? Yeah, you know what? I should check and see. Actually, no. I'm going to do all the base ones. Did you check? So I'm going to do all the yellows. Well, first of all, I got to find out if they have them or not. I did not find one for the UK yet, but I'm looking. But I'm going to do all the base URLs, and then I'm going to do the premium URLs. I want everybody to have access, not just the people paying money. Everybody. All right. I'm assuming that's no other questions for that. All right. We're going to move on to something fun. All-in plugin members. We wind up working and talking with you guys more than any other group of members, and or any other group of tongue twister. There's one thing you guys all have in common. You work long, crazy, tough hours, and you're constantly putting the business ahead of yourself and your needs. Hey, if you agree with me, give me a 1. If you don't, go ahead and give me a 0. Yeah, see, look at all those ones. That's exactly what I'm talking about. More than half of you don't even remember the last time you took a few minutes to completely unwind. Almost none of you have taken a vacation in the last 5 years. I mean, we're all guilty of it. It's in our blood. But, just in case you need a reminder, you did start a business. You're not working a job, guys. And that means it's time for you to start acting like it. Relaxation and getting away from it all, even if it's only for a few hours, has been proven to promote clarity, mental health, and business growth. I did say business growth. If you consistently take some time for yourself and you feel better and you make more money. And since you're just like us, we know you're never going to do that without a push. So today we're going to give you that push. If you're a current all-in plugin member and you've been part of the membership for 3 months in a row or longer, Steve and I want to thank you. both for being a customer and for your ongoing support. If it wasn't for you guys, quite literally, this software would not continue to exist. And we want to give you back some of the peace of mind that you give to us by being a member. And we're going to do that by sending you and your family of up to 4 people on vacation to any one of these places. I'll give you a moment. This is not a timeshare. It's not a hidden tour. This is not a gimmick, guys. This is just our way of saying thank you. This is where you go. If you're an all-in member and you've been part of the team for 3 months or longer, go to that page. It'll be at the end of it'll be on the last slide of the webinar. Go to that, put your email address in, and you'll get all the info that you want. You guys understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. All right, we're moving on. I don't see any zeros. All right, so we have some announcements. Announcement number 1, in addition to adding the API framework, we've incorporated another framework that allows developers to create third-party plugins for Profit Renegade. Now we can't call this third-party code apps or plugins, so we're going to have a customer-wide naming contest with a prize going to the winner. We're only going to allow contest name entries from software members who are also active in the Profit Renegade Facebook group. I've been telling you guys for over a year, get in the Facebook group. If you want to be part of this process, this is where you go. This link again will be at the end of the webinar. Rules, prizes, and announcements will be there also. Announcement number 2. On June 8th, the all-in plugin membership price will increase. We are doubling the membership price of the all-in plugin. The price increase does not affect anybody that already has it. If you are a member now, part of the deal is, and it's always been, rent control. As long as you don't drop the membership, people, in a few years when people are paying thousands of dollars a month for Profit Renegade, and trust me, they're going to be doing that, you're still going to be paying what you're paying right now. We're paying what you paid when you originally signed up. That's what rent control is all about. So the price increase only applies to all-in plugin members who sign up on June 9th and after. That's a couple of weeks. Well, it's 15 days. That should give you guys enough time to take care of it. If anybody's on this webinar and you want to be part of the all-in membership, and if you want to save some serious money, make sure you buy it before June 8th. It's 2 weeks. You should be able to do that. Now, if you have to pick up your job, or if you had to pick your job off the floor, when you saw the vacation Steve and I were giving away to the all-in members, and if you want to save hundreds of dollars per month, then buy the all-in plugin membership tonight. And we'll give you and your family of up to 4 a vacation too. All you have to do is simply give us your word that you'll keep the membership active for a minimum of 3 months, which we know or which you already know you're going to do. And if you guys don't know what the all-in plugin membership is, it's continued 24/7 access to every premium plugin available. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Is there any questions? Give me 1s if you have questions, 0s if you're not. Oh, no questions? Oh, I thought you had a question, Michael Drummond. Are we going to be... All right, guys, hang on. Questions are coming in. Give me a second. Slow down. Hey, Wilbur, rewrite that, please. I don't understand what you're asking me. Shola has questions. All right, Shola. Oh, you don't have questions. Robert, follow the link at the end. It's like $27 a month. Jubilee, the links are at the very end. You should be looking at them right now. Yes, I can post them in chat, actually. Hang on, I can do that. All right, here comes the Facebook one. This is the all-in member one. If you guys want to check that out. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. That was the gift for all members, or for everybody that is an all-in member already. That's been with us for 3 months. That's the actual all-in sales page. This big link at the top, the profitrenegade.com pages, webinar links. If you click on that, it's going to take you to a page on my site, and then these links are all clickable. So if you want to go there. All right, let me look through these questions, or let me look through these this message area and see if there are any questions. Hey, Colin, you're more than welcome, man. I'm glad you're part of this too, bud. Haha, thanks, Greg. Thanks, Belinda. Joyce, Joyce Freeman, we're going to be sending out a replay of the webinar tonight, I think. If not, tomorrow. Let me check on that for you real quick, Jubilee. Okay. Hey, Jubilee, you're right. That's not working. Hang on. I must have got the wrong link on there somehow. Let me fix that. Thank you. I'm taking care of it right now. Hey, guys, I'm just going to fix this right in front of you. So. All right, Jubilee, that's fixed there, and now I'm going to send it to you. All right, guys, there you go. That's the proper Facebook support link. Thanks, Michael. Go to bed. Get some sleep. Any of you on the fence about the all-in? I've had it for a year and a half, and it's probably the best money I've ever spent every single time. Guy, who is that? Oh, it's Guy Jerry. I forgot it was you. I was going to say, who are you, man? Thank you, man. I appreciate you telling people that. I really do. I don't see any questions, and there's too much stuff in the window. Hey, man, one last time. If anybody's any questions, type it right now. Everybody else, don't type anything. Any questions right now? That's right, Jubilee. Listen, my life got turned upside down the last, I don't know, 16 months. I forgot about that. Do me a favor. Reach out to me in the Facebook group tomorrow. I want to introduce you to a couple of people, and let's go over that again. I totally forgot about that. I'm really, really glad that you reminded me. All right. Any other questions? Anybody? What do you mean affiliate program? The same affiliate program as always, Digi. Hey, Digi, you've been an all-in member for a really long time. What do you and and I know you like to tell it how it is. What do you think about the vacation? Okay, Jubilee. I'll accept that in a little bit. I missed the what you wait. DigiChick, I'm confused. What do you mean? Oh, now I get it. I'm a dummy. All right, I get it. Great. If I can find the time, you're the best. Oh, all right. I was expecting a little bit more, so I didn't understand that was your answer. Mike Drummond, did I answer your question about num verify? I didn't see the question. No, that's not true, Steve. That got changed. We got a couple new ones for non-USA people, like Thailand and a couple other places. Not a whole lot, but some. All right, I'll reach out to him tomorrow and make sure that. By the way, he's the one who helped me with a couple. He's one of the guys that helped me with the slides for the vacation pictures. So I'll reach out to him tomorrow and um, and answer whatever question he had. All right, guys, I think that's it. Me, Jubilee, Richard Hilton. All right, anybody else? Any questions? You guys are awesome, man. Everybody that showed up, I'm really glad you did. This should really take things to the next level for you guys. I'm serious. Learn this API stuff. Learn it to use it. Learn it to add it to the software. Learn it in a way to make crap and sell it in my software. You guys have. Hey, look, you're on the webinar too now. Anyway, just start learning the API stuff and get in the Facebook group and ask me for help, ask Steve for help, ask anybody for help if you're not getting it. All right, you guys have a great night. I'm ending the webinar now. Good night, guys. Bye bye.